Hey, this is Tyler with TJX Survival. We are in the jungle in the Amazon basin. I'm here with Jason, and we're going to do a very quick review on the solo kit from mymedic.us. So stay tuned. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the structure, then I'll hand it over to Jason. So from the company's president, I basically got this information. They put thousands of man hours into the structure of their kits. This is one of the smaller ones. I like it for the jungle because it's waterproof. I can drop this in the water. I can swim through a river with it, whatever I got to do down here, and not worry about my internal components getting destroyed. And when I say thousands of man hours, essentially what they've done is you open this thing up and you have to say, what's the most important thing for me to have right now? That's usually stuff that stops bleeding. Right here on the top, they have C-locks. Now, especially for me, if you cut your finger doing a knife demo, this will stop the blood. I've had finger cuts where I have wrapped it and put band-aids on it and put kids' knee patches on it and just tried and gauze and just kept adding to it. It wouldn't stop bleeding until I put some C-locks. C-locks is basically a coagulant. It'll stop the bleeding fast, and for this small personal kit, that's ideal. The other thing is, if you're gonna die from massive blood outlet, maybe you got a cut to a major artery, maybe even femoral bleed, there's a tourniquet sitting right here on the top. So without digging into that, I just wanted to show you that it's structured for what you need now and what you need first. If you don't need the blood stuff real fast, the next thing's going to be like Tylenol, headache medicine, ibuprofen, burn jelly, that kind of stuff. And again, this is a small kit, so this is your little personal kit. They come in two different types of kits. There's the personal and the pro. The personal kit is going to have your superficial wounds type of things, like Neosporin and Band-Aids and moleskin and that kind of stuff. Your trauma or your pro kits are going to have the bullet stopping stuff, arm breaking type of stuff. The problem that I have seen from the military is like my individual first aid kit had all this bullet stuff, so I always had to add chapstick and Neosporin and Band-Aids and the stuff that I actually needed. These kits either come with the stuff you actually needed or take that and add the trauma stuff together, which is really smart because you'll actually get some use from these. Okay. So turning this over to Jason, I'm going to let him talk a little bit about why that chronological order is important and just medicinal first aid in the wilderness.
Well, to do this, take a look at this little kit here really quick. So, like he was saying, being able to access a tourniquet or some C-locks right here to stop bleeding, have that right on top. It's a good way to do it. Then we'll just kind of dissect this kit here a little bit. So we've got that. We've got some medications. You've got some sunscreen, some burn gel, some hydrocortisone, triple antibiotic ointment, lidocaine solution, oral pain relief. So we've got pretty much anything that you could run into. That oral pain relief comes in handy. A lot of times I've actually been out with people who have, for one reason or another, hurt a tooth or had something flare up tooth-wise. So that's actually a good idea. I'd never thought of that one.
A lot of this stuff too is good for burns and stings and cuts and scrapes. So especially if you've got kids, that nothing is more valuable than helping your kid to relieve pain, so that they'll be able to finish whatever the event is that you're doing.
Then they've got some just basic bandages here. There's some moleskin in there. I do like this liquid skin right here. They've got a tube of that. That closes things up pretty good.
So I'm assuming that a lot of you know what these are used for, so I'm going to dust them real quick. The liquid skin is like super glue for cuts. The moleskin is something you use for blisters. What I did in the military, I would take a disinfected needle. I would just pop the skin when I get a blister from hiking on my shoes. I would just pop the skin, deflate it of the liquid, dry it out, foot powder it decently, not too much, and then just put moleskin right over the top of that. or cut a circle if it's really bad and put moleskin around the outside and then over the top. What it does is it gives you an extra layer of skin in the form of a fuzzy band-aid so that your boot doesn't rub against it anymore and make you raw.
Yep. So we've got a whistle,
Monkey whistle.
some
Sorry.
tweezers. You're good. And then we've got
This is a little ready-man edition, a survival card. So it takes almost no space, and it's just something really nice to have. Now, there's a whole bunch of little tools in here, from saws to these are actually, they're like a needle for sutures that you can use. And I need to get more education on some of the other parts. But when I first look at this, the first thing that I think of is I've got shims for escape and evasion. Anyway, but there's also some larger needles and just things that you can use to deal with bigger wounds. That's their medical card.
And then the last thing we've got in here is some, looks like for stings and bites. A little brake swab to take care of that. It's in a nice waterproof case. Looks good. Pretty simple little kit. Definitely would do the basics of what you need.
So another thing that this had that I took off because I have more in my bag is it had a little roll of 550 cord on the outside because it's just really valuable. And the last thing is you have what you need in this kit for a small personal items, but don't feel bad about adding to it if you want to, or removing it if you want to. Because I have kids, I'm going to add more Band-Aids and more Neosporin because I'm going to use that more than anything else. Maybe you have a personal medication needs. Maybe you need an EpiPen for allergies. Maybe you need some diabetic-related items. You just add to this kit, shift it, and make it your own. But if you want a phenomenal base kit, like a small, mobile, waterproof personal kit, this is one of the best ones I've seen on the market.
While we were there, one of the kids that was on the trip ended up cutting his hand open. I can't remember what he was doing. He was either making a ladder or messing with some fish, and he split about 3 inches right up the dead center of his hand. So I grabbed the kit really quick, and right on top of the kit it had the things that I need. It had the C-lock that we could use right up front, so we washed his hand out, put the C-lock in there to stop the bleeding, and then it had some glue, and it's like super glue, but it's made to bandage up cuts like that. So we're able to use the glue right on his hand and then seal it all off with some moleskin right in the end. And the kit worked phenomenally. I ended up leaving the kit with him on this trip so that he had more stuff because this is something they didn't have access to. And that experience for me just sold me on the structure of these kits. You got what you need, you got it right now, and you're able to grab it and go.
Alright, so this is the Solo. It is the small pro one, which means it has personal and trauma-related items inside of it. You can find this on mymedic.us. I will be doing some reviews of the larger kits in the future because I think they're very, very valuable and oftentimes overlooked because people don't always remember to bring the medical backup preparedness-related items. Alright guys, thanks for being here, Jason. If this is valuable to you, hit the subscribe button, please. And you'll be able to see those other videos I'm talking about in the future. Alright guys, thanks for watching T-Jack Survival.